Okay, what do people mean by the veil? It's not like a bride's veil or somebody who's at a funeral wearing a veil. It's like they talk about a veil between our physical reality and everything else. Some people say that the veil is thinning and that they don't explain the term. So I want to give you some information, what it means to me. It means the veil between our physical reality and other realms is dissolving. So it's not just the difference between us and the astral realm, also known as like a dream world or a place you go when you are in the afterlife. Some other parts of the astral is a vast place, dreamlike reality, all kinds of hells and pretty cool places. Some of the places that might be called happy hunting ground are there. It's unbelievably vast, unbelievably vast place. But the veil between what we consider, ground level reality and physical earth and dreamland is thinning. The veil between us and mythical realms is thinning. So things like Fae, which is where the fairy live, and this is thinning, especially if your consciousness is changing. A contact with extraterrestrials. Is that a veil? Well, yeah, some people have said we were under a quarantine on planet Earth. Why? I didn't really get any real reason why they said that. It was just I don't know. I don't know. A big question. Why quarantine planet Earth? Was it the agreements that were made in secret between governments and various extraterrestrials in like the 1950s? Possibilities. I don't know. I don't have detailed evidence. But are we having a thinning of the veil between us and extraterrestrials? It doesn't sound like it's a veil so much. Some of these extraterrestrials apparently are in higher dimensions. Some of them are in non-physical form, according to the channels that connect to these ones. But I don't think that they're. I can't give you anything more than that. But what does it mean if these veils are thinning? I keep seeing things popping in and out of my physical reality. A lot of times they're like fruit flies. There's no fruit flies. There's no fruit down here. I'm down in the basement. There's no fruit down here. But I keep seeing fruit flies popping in and out. I keep seeing in the sky, I see things that kind of look like planes, very high up, popping in and out of my reality. Some people on YouTube that really follow these airplane phenomena think that they are holographic projections. It might be part of Project Blue Beam, which is some kind of fake extraterrestrial invasion using holographic projectors like what are used at concerts that they recreate Tupac Shakur. Um, what else could it be? I don't know. But are the veils thinning? Yes, they are thinning. And what does it mean? Um, it's also hard to say because there are some beings who you might call shapeshifters. We might say they are very good at creating illusions. In the fairy realm, fairies were known for their ability to create illusions in the minds of humans. This was known as glamour. And this was just something that was known in ancient times in the fairy realm. Fairies could create glamour and create illusions. To a modern day psychiatrist, they might be called hallucinations. But I'm not going to call them hallucinations. I'm going to call them glamour and creating illusions in your mind. In Star Trek, the original series, there were a number of beings who could do this same technique. The episode called The Cage, also known as Metamorphosis, there were beings that could create these massive illusions. Um, the Q in Star Trek The Next Generation could create these kind of illusions. In the original series, there was an episode called Catspaw, where negative entities could create illusions that humans could experience. In Spectre of the Gun, again, various different kinds of beings have got the abilities to um, create illusions in the minds of humans. In Star Trek, that various different kinds of Star Treks. So it's not anything new, and the point is that was always considered science fiction. But the fairy realms weren't science fiction; they were considered kind of mythology, folk tales. Um, I don't know, many different examples. But the point of the matter is, if these illusions were based upon humans' consciousness, as human consciousness rises to higher and higher levels on the scale of human consciousness, as you go up to higher and higher levels of consciousness, these illusionists are losing their power to create illusions for you to experience. Because you are just growing. You are growing, and they're not. And the things that worked on humans when humans were primarily a low vibe species, these illusions worked on them. They're not working anymore. And that's why they say the veil is thinning, because our consciousness is rising. And as we get higher consciousness, we're going to start seeing things. And, are you going to go crazy? Is it going to be like They Live, the movie with Roddy Piper, when he puts on some glasses and he starts seeing stuff that's really weird? Could be. How are you going to deal with it if you start seeing things because your consciousness is raising, because you've been meditating? Um, it's going to be a new experience. Are you going to keep seeing these kind of odd things? I think more and more people are going to start seeing weird things. People who you never thought were really kind of on spiritual journeys are starting to see weird coincidences. More and more people are hearing about matrix glitches, Mandela effects, timeline shifts, all part of Earth Ascension, which is the whole collective of all the beings on planet Earth raising their consciousness. So that's basically my explanation of the veil's thinning. What else are we going to see from the world of X, Y, and Z? I don't know. How many other of these realms are veiled from us that as we raise our consciousness are going to become visible to us? How are we going to interact with these beings? Are these beings friendly or are they nasty? You're going to have to really work on developing discernment. If you're empathic, you can get a good feel for what humans are like. It just comes natural to you. So the same way you can tell, if your bullshit detector is telling you somebody is a liar, somebody is low vibe, it'll be the same way for these other kinds of beings. Are they going to look human? Are they going to look, I don't know. What's their real form? Do they have a real form? All kinds of questions. But don't go around in fear, but definitely use discernment. I'm Harry Weaver, the narrator.